This segment is out of order.
With the recent demise of the Rocky Mountain News and the growing influence of online news content, we wanted to find out if journalism has evolved or has the audience changed.
Has journalism evolved or has the audience changed? It's a little bit of both.
Journalism has had to reach out and meet the audience where they are, as opposed to expecting the audience to always come to us. And so the audience has changed in that way too.
Before, when you had the Rocky and the Post, and you didn't have the online, for example, it was news when the Rocky or the Post or a TV station or a radio station said it was news. It's news now when you press send.
People are demanding and consuming news at a more ferocious pace than they ever have before.
There's been technological advances in journalism for years, when it was film reels at the movie house and radio and television. What we need to be concerned about now is good editorial content.
So if the media landscape is evolving, what is it changing into?
As newspapers and other publications struggle to remain relevant, there's sort of a new breed coming in journalism, and that's the individual.
You know, I grew up in a very small town in South Dakota where you had, 3/4 of the paper was people who wrote their neighborhood news. So it was citizen journalism. To me, it's a return to what I know.
But how do you establish the credibility of citizen journalists?
I think that's particularly tough on the consumer, on an individual, because for us, we may receive something, we have time to check it out, screen it, and then determine if it's worthy of broadcasting. Others may get it via a blog or a Twitter or something else from some other person that's user-generated content, and they don't necessarily have that benefit.
You know, so it's not to say that someone who's blogging isn't doing good work, but there are very specific editorial decisions that are being made by those of us who are working as online journalists versus bloggers that do need to be considered.
I think a blogger out there who's doing this as a hobby has to make a decision. Are you going to be somebody who just opines about what you think about the issues, or are you going to trade maybe volume for quality?
So what will the media landscape look like 5 years from now?
5 years from now, more of us are getting our news from the internet than ever before.
I think what we're going to see is an opening up of citizen journalism, where folks are really going to become much more involved.
And I also think that you're going to see a hybridization, especially on the TV, radio side, that their television broadcasts are going to be more stream-based. You're going to be able to go online and get the content whenever you want it.
If you had asked me this question 5 years ago, who could have predicted major newspapers, the death of the Rocky, not even the Rocky, all these other newspapers? Nobody could have predicted this a year out, actually, maybe even 2 years out. What I do hope is that people still wake up and walk out in their driveway and get a newspaper.
I think the ones who are going to be successful are the ones who get that more than ever they have to reach out to the audience where they are, and they have to provide a level of interactivity that our business has never experienced before.
You may return to your broadcast.